instead of trying to be influenced by others.
Right.
हम हिंदी में कहते हैं अभाव में नहीं रहना, किसी के प्रभाव में नहीं रहना, अपने स्वभाव में टिके रहो.
What sets those top 1% of the people apart? Because you talk to like very incredible people and have spoken to so many incredible people over the past few decades. For example, you've spoken to presidents of big countries. For example, you've spoken to Joe Biden. You get to talk to world leaders, movie stars, and big politicians like PM Modi. So, what are those few things about them which separates them from the rest of us? Hello everyone, welcome to the One Person Club show. Today we have a world famous personality. He is someone who has revolutionized the concept of happiness and spirituality. And I have personally taken the 3-day happiness program, and I can tell that it has completely changed my understanding of how life should be lived. In today's video, we want to kind of explore what are some of the basic principles of life which we should follow as we follow our professional journey and as well as our personal journey in life, right? And today, Gurudev, we have almost 1.7 million people who have subscribed to this channel. And today's video is an attempt for us to share some of the learnings that I personally have had and also what millions of people have experienced and spread that learning to more people through my channel. So the audience that I have is actually a little bit different, right? So the reason why people follow me on Instagram is because they want to learn how to make more money and how to be rich. They are essentially wanting to be the top 1% of India, right? And we want to tackle such kind of questions which will help this kind of an audience and help them understand the finer nuances of life. Because most people who follow this journey are not able to, last beyond a decade. Because after a decade, they get burnt out. They start blaming the society because they have not really understood themselves and the finer nuances of life. So the first question I wanted to ask you is, I was asking one of the volunteers about your schedule, and they told me that you only sleep for like 2 to 3 hours a day, right? And today in this hustle culture that we are all living in, most people live like sleep for like 6 to 8 hours and face a lot of difficulties and complain about life. I heard that you travel to like 80 countries in a year and, are constantly in the work mode. So can you tell us like a day in your life and how are you able to, live such a hectic schedule? Like what is the secret of that?
Mm-hmm. Number one, you don't want anything. When you want something, then you have a lot of feverishness to achieve it. I have none of it.
Right.
I'm quite cool. Number second is, when there is a passion to see the happiness in others' faces, things do happen by itself.
Right.
Third, and the most important, is meditation.
Hmm.
Meditation and breathing techniques really give you so much rest, so much energy.
Right.
And, then you can be on the move.
Right. So I completely agree with that because when I did the meditation program here about 3 weeks back, I was actually going through a very difficult phase in a professional standpoint while I was, doing the exercise. And I think if that had happened to me back in the city, if I had to go through that difficult phase back in the city, I don't think I would have dealt it in a way that I have actually dealt it right now. So I wanted to understand how exactly is the Sudarshan Kriya meditation exercise so helpful for us? Like it's just simple breathing exercise, but how is that having such a profound impact?
Isn't it so wonderful? It's to be wondered, right?
Right.
It's very simple yet very profound impact it has.
Right.
And that's the reason it has become very popular in the world.
Right.
For something to become very popular all over the world, it needs to be very effective.
Right.
Effective in many senses. Effective in terms of time management, effective in terms of easy to practice, and most effective also. And that's what it has shown to the world so far. And authentic practices do take us to another level of life.
Right.
Yeah.
So as also I've been recently studying about the different, not studying, I've been talking to the volunteers here, and they've been telling me that there are multiple levels of life, right? So there is this physical world that most humans are living in and accustomed to, and that is all perceived through our eyes, right? Our eyes is not able to see everything, not all the wavelengths of light. So we're not able to perceive the higher forms of life. So what exactly is that higher forms of life, and what are the benefits that we can get if we're able to perceive some of that, and how to do that?
First of all, we must know what our life itself is,
Right.
and a little bit of intuition, what we will be doing, what's going to happen. So you take a decision, you should know what will be the impact of it a little later. So all these things comes from the sixth sense,
Huh.
and we
Right.
all have the sixth sense. Only that we don't use it. We
Right.
don't know how to use it.
Right.
These techniques help you to, trigger the sixth sense.
Is there a way we can describe what the sixth sense is? Like, what is it exactly?
As I said, more than what your intellect can perceive.
Right.
See, when you are walking in the street, you can only see, or when you are driving in a street, you can only see that much. But a drone can see much more, right? A GPS can see much more.
Right.
Like that, taking your mind, your awareness to another level can give a broader vision about your own life.
Right.
It's a lot of fun, I tell you.
Right. I'm sure you get to see that like
Yeah.
all the time. Right. One thing I read about you is that by the age of 4, you were able to recite the Bhagavad Gita, and also you got like a double promotion. Like you were in first standard, and then within 2 hours you were sent to the third standard. Now I'm someone who couldn't talk for the first 4 years of my life, right? So I was just reading that about you, and I'm like, how is this happening? Like, is this like a superpower, or is this something that everybody can learn?
Well, some things need to be just wondered. There is no
Right.
answer to it, you
Right.
see. But what I'm saying is, everyone has lot of potential within us. We only use 2 to 3% of our mental potential in the whole life.
Right.
So there is a lot more available in our own consciousness,
Right.
which we are not using. We need to use them.
Right. So, what are some of the ways that we can do that? I know meditation is definitely
Is
the main
is
thing.
the main thing.
Right.
And then, we have designed 57 different courses for all different sections of
Right.
society. And people can just go into it and see whatever,
Right.
their needs are. Like you are teaching people how to become rich, right?
Right.
How to make more money.
Right. Right.
Now, there are also methods how to be more effective in communication, how to be more impactful in spreading positivity around you. How to be more happy, how to manage your mind in spite of all difficult
Right.
things around you.
Right.
When things are to your liking, you can be smiling, you can be happy. But when things go wrong, can you still hold on to the ground?
Right.
These are the things that we teach in the art of living.
Also, one thing that what stuck with me in the happiness program, the instructor, the teacher told us that most of our adult life is spent on thinking about the past and the future, and our thoughts are always oscillating between the two, and that results in more and more tension. And that was really a profound learning for me. And meditation is a way to kind of stop your mind and just think in the present, right? And then get a zoomed out view. And that was like really a great learning for me.
Correct. Yeah. See, we end up regretting the past all the time,
Right.
or being anxious about the future.
Right.
This anxiousness and regret just kills our spirit. And neither in school nor at home, nobody teaches us how to get out of regret and anger, and how to get rid of anxiety and fear and tension. That is where these programs come in handy.
Right. And also one of the advanced program is the silence program, right? Where you don't talk for 2 days at all, right? And that is something which
I tell you, it's
Right.
such a joy, so much
Right.
fun to do that.
Right.
Silence explores that you have so much to give, so much to find about yourself, and you have plenty of creativity within you.
Right.
And silence course, is the key to unlock the creativity.
But what exactly happens when you're like most of us have not gone without talking for so long since we were small kids, right? So what exactly happens to you when you don't talk for hours and hours? Like what exactly happens? Because
No,
I've not
it's
done it and I'm very intrigued.
no, you would love it. It's a systematic guidance will be there. There'll be a teacher guiding you the whole day, and then lead you to that space within you,
Right.
from where creativity springs out of you.
So definitely, as a content creator, I think I should definitely
Yeah,
do that.
well.
So another thing I wanted to ask, which would be very relevant for the audience as well, is to what sets those top 1% of the people apart? Because you talk to like very incredible people and have spoken to so many incredible people over the past few decades. For example, you've spoken to presidents of big countries. For example, you've spoken to Joe Biden. You get to talk to world leaders, movie stars, and big politicians like PM Modi. So what are those few things about them which separates them from the rest of us?
Commitment to a cause
Okay.
and dynamism, sincerity in action, and connectivity, how they can connect to people. Yeah. And I mean, you have so much to learn from everybody, you see,
Right.
around in the world. But if you ask me what is the one thing that you must develop in yourself, I would say clarity in mind, purity in heart, sincerity in action.
Can you give like an example of the purity in heart? Like what does that mean exactly?
Purity in heart is being free from grudges, prejudice, and ill feelings towards anybody.
But it is so easy to feel those things, right? I mean, is it like a challenge which has been put upon us, and it's so difficult? And only if we are able to free ourselves from that, only then
No,
we can live.
this should be your goal, to free yourself. See, you are angry at somebody, and you are carrying that anger with you. It's not going to help you.
Right.
That anger is the punishment you are giving to yourself
Right.
for someone else's mistake. So similarly, you are jealous about someone having something.
Right.
See, that's not helping you.
Right.
It makes your whole behavior very distorted, your personality distorted. Nobody likes to be around a person who is jealous,
Right.
right?
Right.
Just imagine someone is jealous about you and your popularity. Would you like to be hanging around them? You
No.
feel sort of repulsive vibration from them.
Right.
So similarly, you may also have some repulsive vibrations, and but we don't know how to tackle that. This is where again all the Sudarshan Kriya, meditation,
course.
these techniques help you to feel that freedom.
That's actually this is the perfect segue for my next question, because you spoke about the vibrations that people emit, like the energy around us.
Correct.
And or most of us, I mean, I personally know that you are the average of the 5 people that you surround yourself with. And I've seen that, in the past 2 years of all the achievements I've done, it is more credit goes to the people that I surround myself with, right? So the energy that they emit around them gets transmitted to me as well, and vice versa. But it's very difficult to kind of understand that in the beginning, right? Maybe you kind of realize that maybe later on in life, okay, this is not the person that I want to hang around with, but that happens little later in life. So how to kind of understand who are those people you should surround yourself with for your own personal growth? And can everybody enjoy everybody's company, or are there some certain kind of people that everybody should find out, basically creating their own tribe where they can be their best possible version of themselves?
I would say, instead of depending on the vibrations of other people, why don't you be the pillar of the vibration,
Right.
positivity? When you are positive, you can change the vibrations of everyone around you too.
Okay.
Instead of trying to be influenced by others.
Right.
हम हिंदी में कहते हैं अभाव में नहीं रहना, किसी के प्रभाव में नहीं रहना, अपने स्वभाव में टिके रहो.
Can you translate that?
That is, be in your or true nature, be in your nature, instead of being in influence of others, influenced by others' vibration,
Right.
or being in a sense of lackness.
So when you said that be in your own true nature, is that the same for everybody, or does everybody's true nature change? And how to know what that true
Both.
nature is?
Everybody's true nature is a little difference, and there is similarity also, the
Right.
sameness also.
Right. But is there like some people are like inherently bad in their true nature? Is there something of
That
sort?
is not.
That is not
See,
there.
no child has come onto this planet being a cruel or bad person.
Right.
Due to circumstances, situations, stress, and they develop those tendencies which
Right.
they themselves do not like it many
Right.
times. So intrinsically human nature is very good.
Right. So next question I wanted to ask is, right, so everybody is in the pursuit of money and pursuit of climbing up the ladder professionally.
That is
But-
fine.
Right.
You shouldn't feel guilty about it.
Right.
See, when you want to when you are on a running race, you only look at your track. If you keep looking at others' track, you
Right.
will lose the race.
Hmm.
So instead of comparing yourself with others and finding yourself into a mess, it's better you compare yourself with yourself and how you about your own performances and do your 100%,
Right.
and that will take you to where you want to be.
I also wanted to ask, like, is it important for everybody to have like a life partner? Because today it has become like the de facto that you have to get married by your 30s. So is it okay to live a life where you don't have a life partner?
Oh yeah,
Right? It's okay.
oh yeah, absolutely fine.
Right.
Choice is yours.
But how do we know that?
See, one thing is, see, there are people who have partners and still unhappy. There are people who are single and yet unhappy.
Hmm.
So I would like people to be on that category where whether you have a partner or not, just be happy.
Right. So now let's say somebody is like very happy by themselves, right? But they also want to explore, okay, how would it be if I have a life partner? So how do we go across that process?
Go by, see, these things, there are no criteria. You go
Right.
by your inner feeling, your
Right.
gut feeling, what you feel.
But like heartbreak is a very difficult concept, right? Because I have gone through it
Heartbreak,
once,
yes.
and it's like that level of sadness when you go through it. You feel like, how can a person be so sad? And it's a very different kind of sadness, not your physical pain wala
Correct.
sadness.
Correct.
So it's a very difficult thing, right? To go back to one relationship after the other. And even today's world, people are very, very, they move around very quickly, right? Small mistakes
I was
get results into a
about,
breakup.
yes, scared about the pain of the breakup.
Correct. How do we kind of
This
be
is
courageous?
where, we even call in our ashram, we repair the broken hearts here.
Right.
So give them that inner solace and inner strength to, manage tough times in life. That is necessary,
Right.
It's not enough to be good you need to be strong.
Hmm.
So the strength, inner strength, emotional strength, spiritual strength, physical strength, they're all connected. You get that by these practices.
Hmm.
So many people in the verge of suicide have come here and they've gotten happy.
Right.
And people who are broken up and then they felt that the sky has fallen on their
Yeah.
head, and then they find it, oh, such a lightness. And
Right.
so you need to work on yourself for those things. Yeah. And it doesn't take much time. I would say anybody with a broken heart problem, just contact nearby Art of Living teacher or the center. You will see, you will not lose one night of sleep after that.
Nice. So since I have done the program,
You have seen yourself.
I am seeing myself. I have not been able to do it every day as it was told, but I am at least doing it alternate days, and it has had a profound impact even alternate days. But you told to do it at least for the next 60 days continuously. That's what you told us before leaving. So I want to do that
Yeah.
and see the real impact.
You should connect it with breakfast. See, you don't miss breakfast, right?
Right.
So you don't say, I take breakfast on alternative days.
Right. Right.
So like with breakfast, it is a must. Or with lunch, it's a must. If you link it with your daily routine, it's not difficult. 10 minutes in life, you can always take for that.
Right.
For yourself, you should
Right.
give that 10 minutes.
Right.
Okay?
So people say that money is not everything in life and it does not buy happiness. But most of the people who say this are the people who already have money, right? And also a research was conducted that happiness is directly proportional to money until you reach like $150,000 a year, which is like 1 crore a year. So what do you think about the
I
relationship of
don't
money and
think
happiness?
this is not the case. It's not
Okay.
150 some number you put
Right.
it. I don't know how they arrive it. You can
Right.
get into some statistics of it. No, you just go to places which are very poor places like Dharavi
Hmm.
or the slum in Rio de Janeiro in Brazil, and you see the smile in the faces of people.
Hmm.
You know, people from Europe, they wonder how people in Dharavi could even celebrate something.
Right.
They live in shanties in the slum.
Hmm.
There is celebration there,
Hmm.
and so and look at those who very rich and their life are not very
Absolutely.
happy. They are very miserable. You
Hmm.
can start from there. Look at the richest people in life.
Hmm.
There's such shallowness in their life,
Right. I
right?
agree.
And so you need not link these two things.
Hmm.
They are completely, though, of course, if you don't have a square meal to have, and then you can't have a smile on your face, your
Right.
basic needs are there.
Right.
That is essential.
Right.
But your fantasies, your luxuries are a very different thing than needs.
Right. But if I had to extend a little further, like what about the relationship between money and freedom? Because there's this concept called financial freedom, where you don't have to work
No,
for money anymore.
that is okay. See, it's just a means. Of
Hmm.
course, you need to have financial freedom.
Right.
But don't think financial freedom alone can bring you security.
Right. Of course. Yeah. That makes
It
sense.
can even make you more insecure.
Right. Actually, it does, because then the definition of financial freedom keeps going up.
Correct.
Right. Because I ask this question, like whenever I go on a, let's say a Uber, I ask the driver, how much money if you have in your bank account today, would you stop being an Uber driver? Most people will say 1 crore, these drivers. And if I ask this on Twitter, which is mostly, people who are in the corporate world, there is not a single answer which is less than 10 crores. Right? So that difference is a lot and it keeps changing. Right? So I think the last question I wanted to ask you for today is that I always ask myself, if I were to, let's say, if today was my last day on earth, would I be happy with the life that I've lived? So I wanted to ask you, what are those few non-negotiable things or the bare minimum things that everybody should have experienced in life for them to feel like I have lived a good life on the day that they die?
There is no such criteria.
Okay.
It's an inner state. It doesn't depend on what you have outside.
Okay.
Where the inner state of contentment,
Hmm.
of moving from the infant joy of receiving to the mature joy of giving.
Hmm.
There are two kinds of joy. One is the joy that you get when you get something. Another is the joy that you experience when you give something.
Right.
So when you start giving to the society, that's when you really feel more fulfillment.
So how can people start doing that? Because most people think of it as donation, right? Give money, put a foundation, give to temple. Like, is there any other ways where you can give and be happy? Like, what do you think? What are those ways which a common man can start doing?
There are many ways. There are many things. Share happiness with people.
Hmm.
Give more positive things to people. You keep sharing negativity much more than the positive news.
Right.
Share positive news. Be kind, and then words of solace, and do whatever you can do to make others happy.
Hmm. So I read this interesting tweet recently that as soon as you feel something good about somebody, or you had a thought about somebody and you felt like they're a very nice person, immediately call them up and tell them that. Right?
No, that is not necessary. Calling and telling them. Main thing is to bring out positivity. See, in a world where there is negative narration all around,
Right.
if you just determine to spend few minutes every day spending positive messages and positive vibrations and attitude, it can make a whole lot of difference to you.
So what if I'm sitting
And
in a...
also whatever you have, a portion of it you have earned, says X amount of money. A portion of it, 5%, 3%, 10%.
Okay.
give it for the cause of others' happiness.
Hmm.
That'll
Right.
make a big difference. Huh?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Wonderful. Keep doing the wonderful
Yeah.
work you do.
Absolutely. Thank you
All
so
the
much.
best to you.
Thank you so much for giving me your time, and I know how busy you are. And I think next you're going for your satsang. I would love to also come there.
Come,
Yes.
come.
Thank you so much.
Namaste.